If you are over 40, if you lift weights or work out regularly, and you spend a lot of time at a desk, your shoulders are at a high risk of injury. This video is going to show you 3 yoga poses specifically made for men that's going to help you with injury prevention in your shoulders and helping to improve your overall upper body performance. I've got Dr. A here from the Fit Father Project to help, and by the end of this video, you're gonna have some really solid knowledge of yoga postures to help with your overall fitness and upper body strength. All right, so we've got Dr. A here from the Fit Father Project. I'm gonna be walking him through 3 poses for shoulder strengthening. Yep, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, cool. So the first pose, we were talking about this beforehand. It can seem like a boring pose, but we're gonna make it a bit more active. So this is called a standing side bend or a crescent bend. So you're gonna stand with your arms overhead, interlace your fingers, point your index fingers up. Now, if you're tighter through your shoulders, you can also bend your elbows and drop your shoulders down a little bit. This is a perfectly fine modification. And then the key to make this more intense, I want you to really squeeze your arms back. So before we even go into the bend, squeeze the shoulder blades back, squeeze your arms back as far as you can, almost like you're pressing your arms into the wall behind you.
Yep.
So we're really feeling the shoulders firing.
Yep.
And then from here, take a big breath in, get as tall as you can. And then you're gonna lean toward your left, and your hips are gonna press a little bit to the right. Now, let's start with the lower body here. You wanna make sure that you're pushing down through your feet so your legs are really active, and bring your feet a little bit closer together, so about hip width distant. You know, and as men, if you wanna bring your legs a little further apart, that's fine. Toes can also be touching. So we're feeling a stretch here through the whole right side of the body. And as you're inhaling, think about filling up this rib cage with space. So this might be a new concept for you if you haven't practiced breathing before, but you can actually visualize breathing into the space that you're stretching, and that's gonna help more. We're also continuing to squeeze the arms back, so he's still feeling the muscles in the upper back engage. As he's inhaling, he's getting taller and longer, so we're focusing on that height. As he's exhaling, going a little bit deeper, but you wanna maintain this sense of uprightness through your body, okay? So not just collapsing to the side. And then we've been here for about a minute, so go ahead and come back and then just relax your arms. So give yourself a little break so we can focus on technique instead of endurance with the first pose.
Okay, I like it. I think like really driving those shoulders back is great for me. Doing a lot of desk sitting, I feel like it's opening me up, and really creating that expansion with the breath felt phenomenal.
Yeah.
And good core work too, you know, outside
Yeah.
of mobility. Like I felt my oblique really firing.
Yeah, it is a lot of core.
Yeah.
It isn't just upper body. So, okay, let's do the other side, and then stand sideways for me this time, so we'll
Okay.
get a different view. All right, so arms are up once again. Good, and then you're squeezing your arms back. And again, once again, guys, just depending on shoulder mobility, you can bend your elbows a little bit. If you notice that your shoulders get really up near the neck, definitely bend the arms a little bit. All right, so we're taking in that deep breath to kind of get set, get tall. And then as you exhale, leaning toward the right now, hips are gonna press lightly toward the left. One thing that you can also do here is if you have a yoga block, you can actually put this between your thighs and then kind of squeeze that. That's gonna help with that lower body engagement. You're also gonna feel your core tighten up a little bit more. Yoga blocks are meant as tools, they're not crutches. So remember to use your props if you have them. And then again, here we're breathing into the space in the rib cage. The left rib cage is open. You're gonna feel all the way from the left hip all the way through the shoulder opening up and engaging, right? This is active. One way I like to think about this, instead of just leaning to the side, think about reaching over the fence and holding something up as high as possible, right? So we're maintaining that strength, not just passive stretching here. And the whole time we're trying to breathe in and out of the nose. It's really common to forget to breathe. Whenever you remember to breathe, that means that you're getting better at it. So just remember to breathe when you can, and you'll improve over time. All right, let's go ahead and come back to the middle, and then go ahead and release again. Right.
Solid.
Yeah.
Really like that. Notice my left side's tighter for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Really gonna work on that. That feels great.
Yeah. And you're always gonna have one side that's tighter. It's total, I mean, you know this, but it's totally fine. So it's good to be aware of it, but also, you know, don't get hung up on, oh, my left right's just a little bit tighter than the right. So.
And I think like the yoga block was really meaningful for me. Like I felt that it made it a lot more present because I feel like I had enough things to focus on, like breathing, stretch, and tension, keeping the adductors tight as well, engaging the core. So very mindful, very, very like meditative in that sense.
Yeah. Cool. And we very rarely actually get our arms overhead and hold them there for a long time.
Okay.
So this is a nice basic way to do that. Not just reaching the arms up like we talked about, but actually squeezing the arms back so we get those upper back muscles working.
Quick question before we move on to pose 2. Like,
Yeah.
when would guys do this? Is this a warm-up? Is this a stretch in the middle of the day? Like this one, where do we incorporate this?
So you can do this as a warm-up if you're going to be doing some upper body work.
Okay.
Great to do before that. It's also really good for just to open up the day, or if you're going into a situation where you're typically have poor posture, this can actually help with breathing a lot because it's opening up the intercostals. So it can also be good for running.
Yeah.
Right. It can be good for just sitting at your desk. So there's very few reasons why this wouldn't be a great thing. Maybe if you have some rotator cuff issues going on, this could be potentially aggravating, but there's very few reasons why you wouldn't do this.
Something that occurs to me is we now know so much about the research on posture, like having proper set posture actually activates our testosterone, lowers our cortisol, makes us feel confident, like heading into a meeting for the day. And I feel like after this, I like naturally just want to stand up taller. And so I think this could be a good benefit before you're doing anything where you want to feel really present and powerful. So great.
Nice.
Catching up.
I wanted some too. All right, so next one, this is also a movement that we rarely do, even if you're working out a lot, but not doing a ton of mobility work. So I want you to grab a block.
Okay.
And if you don't have a block, you can also do this with a yoga strap. If you're like, I don't do yoga, I don't have a yoga strap, you can find a dog leash, a t-shirt, anything that you can hold behind your back.
Okay.
And so you're just going to stand in that nice, strong position that we were in earlier with your feet about 6 inches apart.
Okay.
If you want to use the block, you can use the block again, just a little bit of added, between the thighs. And then from here, what we're going to do is we're going to lift the arms away from the back. So this is a way to do it just kind of passively. So just squeezing the arms away from the back and holding them. This is totally valid. This is a good way to open up the shoulders. What I want you to also practice is being a bit more active. So we're going to start with your arms kind of bent like this. Okay. And then you're going to squeeze your elbows toward one another.
Yep, I'm there.
Pull the shoulder blades together. So we're opening up the chest. All right. So now instead of having kind of a passive hold with the arms locked out, now we're really working on squeezing the shoulder blades together. We're really working on that retraction of the shoulder blades.
Yep.
If you have issues with any sort of pushing motions and pain in the front of your shoulders, it's probably due to a lack of strength here.
Yes.
So this is a really good activation to any sort of pressing exercise. Now from there, you're going to squeeze the block away from your back. Yep. And then hold it with that engagement through the upper back.
This is something for sure.
Dr. A, if you want to turn so they can see what that looks like. So we're really active through the upper back here. Basically what we're doing, we're not so much doing stretches so much as we're doing isometric strengthening.
Yes, that's what I feel. I'm shaking. It's like, it's hard.
Yes.
It's that end range of motion I think I rarely work, even at like the back end of a row. Like,
Right.
This is great.
Right. So what makes this also really, really helpful, like you said, is getting to that end range of motion and holding it and building strength and familiarity there. Nice.
Smoked.
Cool.
Very good.
All right.
Love it.
So that's the one pose.
Okay, so I want to drive home, extension of the shoulder, but I'm pushing my hands together, trying to compress that yoga block. And Dean, with the strap though, would someone be pulling apart on that?
Yeah,
Or-
so it's about just keeping it active. So you can pull it apart.
Yeah.
Yeah, pulling it apart is the best way to do that. So in some ways, it's actually, you can use both because you're going to get some different muscle activation.
Slightly different, right? Because you're getting external rotation or internal rotation of the shoulder while in extension. So they're both valuable for different reasons. Yeah. And like, don't we all want triceps and shoulders and mobility like this man? So sounds great.
Cool.
I like it. Pose 2.
All right. Yeah, and once again, doing that like before some upper body work, really helpful.
Okay.
All right, guys, quick 15-second break here. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that you are focused on your longevity. You want to do what you physically want to do for as long as possible and live independently as long as you can. And if that's your goal, I invite you to do our free 7-day Beginners Yoga for Men challenge. Link is in the description below. Sign up when the video is finished. Okay, so our third pose is more of a stretch, but we can also make this a bit active.
Okay.
This is called Eagle, and it's kind of based on a shoulder protraction stretch. So most of us are familiar with arm across the body, and then opposite arm coming on top.
Yep.
We're going to add something to this. If possible, you're going to use your fingers to link together here. And for a lot of guys, either if you're bigger or if you're bigger just because you're bigger or if you're more muscular, that can make things difficult. So the way that you can make this a little easier is whichever arm is going to go under, you can have a strap, put the arm under, and then kind of drape that into the other hand.
I see.
And then if you can't quite grip the fingers,
Yeah.
you can use the strap to kind of get those together.
Cool. So I'm coming under, over. I can get a hook. Maybe do a little more arm day for me, but
Yep.
okay, here we go.
All right. So, and then turn to the side because I want guys to see this. So you're going to probably start in tight, but what I want you to do is try to get the elbows up and the forearms away from your body. And then you'll notice that his shoulder blades start to spread apart. His arms come forward. So now we're feeling this really great stretch through the upper back.
Yes.
And I talked about this on the first stretch, but you want to think about breathing into the space. So if I can put my hand here and Dr. A can think pushing into my hand as he inhales, that area is actually going to open up a lot more. And this is a really nice stretch because a lot of guys will just get tight through these muscles as a result of kind of hunching forward. So this is a nice way to open that up. But also, if you can think about this from a strength perspective and really hold the arms up and flex the muscles in your arms and your shoulders, you can add a really nice strength and isometric component to this. All right, go ahead and relax.
Wow, that's great. You know, there's a deep pec muscle, as you know, called the pec minor. That is a protractor of the scapula, along with the serratus, that kind of boxer's punching muscle. And a lot of us just don't work those muscles enough. It's why I'm a huge fan of single overhead pressing, and I can see how this kind of simulates that because we're in protraction and we're elevating the scapula. It's like phenomenal for strength. It'll probably really improve your pressing and your pulling strength too.
Yeah, and these are the kind of stretches when you do them on a regular basis. If you can do these kind of things like 3 times per week, that's when you really start to notice like, oh, wow, my shoulders feel a lot better. And it doesn't take long. Like you can do this for a couple of weeks and you'll really notice the improvements.
And I imagine, you know, let's say I'm training upper body sometime this week. If I literally go from here to both sides like this,
Yeah.
5 minutes.
Yeah.
Shoulders are bulletproofed and healthy, ready to rock.
Yeah.
Like we can incorporate this very easily.
Yeah. It's a good use of time. Cool. All right. So other side now.
Okay.
So I always forget which one I went under first. So I think we
went
did
this way.
Yes. So whatever you didn't do last time, that one's going to come on top. And once again, if the strap is helpful, you're going to use the strap to kind of, and if you don't have a strap, remember, you can use a t-shirt, you can use a dog leash, you can use a belt. There's lots of different tool options here. And then once again, we want to get the arms up and away. And you can also, yes, we're focusing on the upper body here, but as Dr. A and I talked about before we started filming this, you can also use this as an opportunity to check in with the rest of your body. So use this as an opportunity to push down through your feet, to squeeze your thighs. Think about kind of squeezing or lifting your knees toward your quadriceps, engaging your core. So we're getting a lot of really good posture work in this as well. Continue to breathe. Don't forget to breathe. And remember, if you do forget to breathe, the best way to get better at breathing is recognizing when you're not breathing and then just breathing at those junctures. So we're here, and for most of these poses, you want to aim for 45, 60 seconds. If you want to do longer, that's when flexibility can really see some significant improvements. It's a different kind of strength than you might be used to, right? Reps is one thing, but holding it and having the mental fortitude to push through it, even when you start to get tired, it's a different kind of strength, but it can be incredibly rewarding in terms of your other workouts and just your overall fitness.
All right, here's something subtle that I'm playing around with that you can't see on camera.
Yeah.
What I'm doing is as I'm in this position, I'm drawing in my belly button, that transverse, which feels good, but I'm also drawing up my pelvic floor.
Yeah.
I'm actually just like pulling everything up, like I'm kind of like holding in a pee and a poop. So it's like I'm getting this like upwards extension of the lower while extending in the upper.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's just lengthening like my spine. I feel like my psoas is opening up and it just feels good. I'm kind of doing that intuitively, but like you don't see that on camera. But these subtle things with the nose breathing, I think makes it really powerful.
Yeah, and that's what I really like about that kind of work too, is that's what really helps relieve pressure in the back. So when you can get more engagement through the core, especially active engagement through the core, that helps to lengthen the lower back. And almost everyone deals with lower back pain of some sort.
Yes.
So if you can incorporate more core work just into this kind of stuff, but your other workouts in general, lower back is going to feel a lot better. And the more you practice this core engagement, the more easily it applies to everything else that you do. So you notice better core engagement when you're doing your other workouts,
Yes.
even when you're just walking around day to day. Suddenly you'll realize like, oh, this is what it feels like to have good posture.
Yeah, totally. And then that like relaxed nose parasympathetic breathing in the context of creating some tension is really cool.
Yeah,
I'm a fan.
cool. Yeah,
Thank you, Dean.
This is just, I wanted to get some too.
Yeah, come join.
Good stuff. All right, cool.
Thanks,
There's
brother.
3. Good job. Those are 3. Be sure to watch the other videos. We've got more. Hope you guys enjoyed that workout. If you want another shoulder workout, I'm going to mention that here in a second. But I hope you appreciated the video with Dr. A. I encourage you to go check out his YouTube channel. Subscribe here if you haven't already, and like the video if you found it helpful. The next video I'm going to recommend is a morning yoga for shoulders and back. It's really good for guys. It's a low intensity. It's a relatively short workout. If you like this routine and you want to do more of this, I highly recommend it. Go ahead and click over my shoulder right now and check out that video, and try to do these workouts about 3 times a week, and that's when you'll really notice it working. Thanks for watching. See you on the next video.